Okay, I'm gonna deal with some questions from OS Dev. As soon as I verify this is online. Hello, hello, hello. What do we have here? Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so BIOS from long mode. No. I wrote my own bootloader. It starts in real mode. It calls, I have a diagram. Let me see if this is any good. I should put a box around real mode. Okay, so it comes in the CD-ROM, loads the kernel.bin, the Atom task. Oh, this is outdated. I should change that. I will change that. Anyway, well, that's something to do. Okay, I can show you how I do that. Okay, so it comes in real mode, loads kernel.bin, and then it starts up. Or my master boot record loads master boot record stage 2. I should call it stage 2. Then it loads the partition boot block, and then it loads the kernel. Or when it's up and running, you can reboot and go into the kernel. Okay, so the kernel starts in real mode. My operating system is different from what everybody else does. My kernel.bin starts in real mode. They make you dependent on grub. Now you forever have, you're dependent on grub, and you sold your soul. If you use grub, you sold your soul, because you have to do GPL. You sold your soul. They want to make you sell your soul so quickly. Anyway, so I use real mode, and in real mode I am free to call the BIOS. So I get the there's a PCI bus information. There's the E820 memory map. I'm in real mode, so I call these. I enable A20. One more thing. Where's VGA? There's my VGA. And I changed to, God said 640 by 480, 16 color is a covenant like circumcision. So there's where I changed to VGA 640 by 480. And then I'm a genius. I know how to change to protected mode. I set up my GDT tabs, changed CR0, set a bit in CR0, and that's after my code is position independent, so I have to do some things before doing it. I have to patch the startup code. I have to patch the code. Anyway, then we, I don't have support for segmentation. I don't have support for 16-bit in my assembler, except just a little bit of support. So I have to hand code the instructions, because the assembler doesn't do 16-bit segments. Then we jump, now we're in 32-bit mode, and we continue. No, here's where I patch the memory. My compiler is strictly position independent. My compiler is 64-bit. There's no 32-bit. The compiler will not do 32-bit mode. So all this 32-bit code has to be in assembly. And then finally, we jump to kernel main. Kernel main, that's after we changed to 64-bit. We have to set up page tables, and here's where we set up. Now you have to do this for multi-core as well. So you're going to have to do it on your own because they're not going to do it for you. So you might as well learn how to change to protected and then to 64-bit mode. You can learn it from mine if you want. I don't care. Anyway, so you have to set up the page tables. I identity map. That's just the hallmark of my operating system. So I identity map everything. What does that mean? There's a lot of people that are very stupid. They're like, derp, derp. Oh, I see 7,000, that's stack. No, if it's identity mapped, nothing is stacked, nothing is anything. That's not true, but basically there is no high. Do you see high memory? Do you see upper half memory? No. When you identity map, you don't have upper memory. When you identity map, you put multiple tasks. They can't all have 7FFF as stacked. Now, can they? No. If you identity map, you cannot put two tasks with 7FF as their stack. That should be obvious. Always beat the out of those little. Oh, it's the same goddamn Barney Fife. Always being a. Anyway, so yes, mine starts. This is basically a CIA giving me here. Barney Fife being a wise ass about long mode, talking about BIOS 10. He's using Grub, so he can't do this. He has to. He's using long mode. This is a person that's trying to with me. That's where it always is. Goddamn. They're annoying as. They're like, derp, it can't boot. I've been doing this for. You've been watching for 12 years and you still think it can't boot? Derp, no, it can't boot. Even, do you know how many people can boot it? It's because you're trying to use box. You're trying to load the kernel by yourself. Do it like a white man. A white man uses an ISO file. This is the way a white operating system is installed. Okay, let me tell you. You go to the website, you download the file, then you go into VMware. Hold on a second. Oh, let's see. Go into VMware. You say, let's shut that down. This is the way a white man installs an operating system. Go into virtual machine. Typical. ISO file. You see how this works? This isn't so hard. You don't have to around with kernel.bin. You don't have to do that. You just get the ISO file. Other 64-bit. Production. The goddamn cannot manage to do this on his own. It does take more than 512. I like to put it at 5 gig just to show that it's 64-bit. 8 cores. Finish. The like derp, it can't boot. This is the way a white man operating system installs. You go in here, you boot the ISO, and then it installs itself. That's how a professional white man operating system works. Now he's going to say, derp, I can tell it's not, I can tell it's real mode by the graphics. believe it or not, long mode can use 640 by 480. As a matter of fact, why are those people are doing GPUs? It's a lost cause because there's 50 GPUs in. Oh, you don't need a GPU. No, you do need a GPU. So, now is this so hard? This is. Okay. There, goddamn is. That's how you install it. So, where were we? Oh, I was going to fix that. You want to watch me fix it? It won't be that exciting. How did that end up out of date? Damn, code gets out of date fast. Documentation. Let's see. What about this? Hey, that's up to date. How'd that happen? I renamed the file. Okay, so this is a graphic sprite. Control T, Control R. Okay, we got text. So I go to my sprite edit menu, edit as text, and now we change kernel. Why don't we call that? Oh, that's okay. Kernel main. Startup. Control D. It is called startup, am I correct? StartOS. StartOS.cpp.z. StartOS. And this goes to home. No, that goes to make home. That goes to home. You might think it doesn't exist. That's because if it doesn't find it, it finds it in the root. If it doesn't find a file, it checks the parent directory. And in this case, it will find the default file. Is the rest of this up to date? I think so. Okay. Now we got to shift some things around. Okay, I'm going to go Control-Alt-G. This puts a grid on the screen. We're going to go a 4x4 grid. We're just going to snap to the grid. Escape. So the font is 8x8. So what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we go one character. I think I did it. Okay. The rest of it. What did I change? I changed StartOS. What else did I change? Make home. Okay. I don't know. A friend of mine taught me a lesson. If it looks right, it looks right. In other words, you don't always have to measure. As a matter of fact, sometimes it looks better if it's done by eyeball. Anyway, I digress. So Control-Alt-Shift-G, Control-Alt-Shift-G, and escape, and exit. And is this still the name? I change the name so often I feel I get lost. That technically this is going to cause confusion because that's not in your home directory. It's in the parent of the home, but okay, well, good enough. Now I do have a grub file somewhere. You have to use chain loading. They have made a major. They turned it into a monster. It's actually a pretty easy thing to do. Whiteman operating systems use chain loading. If you load Windows, use chain loading. That's the way a normal operating system loads. All it does is loads the first block and sets it running in real mode. That's the CIA and it's the Linux cult, and they're just trying to make you use grub. What a actually I haven't done UEFI. That's the plan. Is I take over the industry with divine authority. Seriously, God talks, but of course we take over the industry. So how about that?